Mr. Okunomo, your faction of the party is not comfortable with Jimoh Ibrahim being listed by INEC as the candidate for the governorship election. Why is that so?
Well, I want to quickly correct that PDP is not fractionated in Ondo State. The scenario is just being painted as if there is faction. We have been a one party in Ondo State ever since the governor and all the entire members of our party joined the PDP. The man who spoke last handed over to Fabo-led executive in Abuja when the National Executive Committee, headed by Alimo the Sheriff, constituted the acting executive of the party in Abuja. Fabo took over from him, and the committee was constituted. It was a body of executive brought together from the two groups that formed the mega PDP prior to the presidential election. What happened was that the entire Labour Party structure and the government in Ondo State moved en masse into the PDP, led by the governor, and the PDP, as it were, also was in existence. When we now came together as a mega party, by understanding of the national leadership of the party, there's a body of executive, a governing executive, under the power of the neck of the PDP, then headed by Alimo the Sheriff, exercised his power by constituting the caretaker committee as at then. That was 2014. The caretaker committee was put in place. The positions were shared. There are 29 positions, 14, 15. The old Labour took 14, the old PDP took 15. We formed the body of the executive. I merged the acting publicity secretary of the party. So now, we took over from him.
Yes, with the matter
the information he just gave is false, is untrue, and it is malicious. Okay. And after that, you know, I said that was the caretaker committee. This year, we had our Congress when Alimo the Sheriff was still chairman. In March 3rd, we had the World Congresses because the Constitution spells out how the sequence of electing our executive. On April 6th, the Congress of the party of the PDP was held in Ondo State. He was seated on the table, on the high table. He was there. Boroyobi was there as a delegate representing Mahi-Wotfor. All of us were there. We constituted the executive. There has not been any controversy about the executive or the PDP in Ondo State. So what they are saying is a contraction.
There is definitely a faction in Ondo State now. Because
no, there's no faction. There's no faction. Okay. I'm correcting it. There's no faction.
Okay.
The body of the executive had been even before the expiration of the tenure of Alimo the Sheriff.
Okay, but I do. I want us to come back to the topic on ground now.
On the issue of candidates of political party, the constitution of PDP is very clear as to the essential constitutional ingredients that will determine and define what a special state congress at which the governorship candidate of the party will emerge. If you don't satisfy these conditions, the electorate says that that political party is failing to satisfy the conditions as spelled out in the electoral act, ditto the constitution of the party.
So hasn't Jimoh Ibrahim
did not put himself forward. The only known to law primary of the PDP head on August 22nd was the one that was held in Akure at the International Event
Which
Center.
Law are you making reference to? Known to which law?
The electoral law is very clear. Section 97 of the electoral law makes it clear which is the law that supersedes any other regulation of the political party. Your political party can make a law, but that law is also subject to the Constitution of Nigeria. Under Section 97 of the law, subsection 4(b), you will see there that a special congress shall be held in all the local government areas where three ad hoc delegates must emerge, one of which must be a woman. There are 203 wards in Ondo State. 203 wards in Ondo State times 3 will give you the number of ad hoc delegates. Apart from this delegate, though there are other people, the other people are spelled out in the constitution of PDP under Section 25 are we call them automatic delegates. Without them, the Congress is an incomplete Congress. Who are they? The leader of the party, the governor, the deputy governor, former deputy governor, or former governor that are still members of the party, the National Assembly members, Senate and Rep, all the assembly members. In Ondo State, we have 22 assembly members out of the 26. Those 26, 2 must be seated. Also, all the elected council chairmen, we have 18 of them in Ondo State, they must be seated. All the 18 vice chairmen of council, they must be seated. All the party chairmen in all the local government areas of Ondo State, they must be seated. In addition to the ad hoc delegates.
Okay.
So it is a mandatory constitutional provision of our party.
All right.
So if an arrangement does not satisfy the provision or the composition or the ingredients as spelled out, such is a nullity, it cannot stand,
okay,
and it is ultra-vires.
Mr. Okunomo, there is obviously glaring disunity as it stands within the ranks of the PDP.
There is not disunity in PDP. Let me correct it.
Okay. Whose candidature do you support?
Let me tell you, there's no disunity in Ondo State.
Mr. Okunomo, who do you support?
Itai Ojegede contested along with Sakalawa.
But INEC has listed Jimoh Ibrahim as candidate as we speak.
INEC, it is not in the place of INEC or any other body to meddle into internal affairs of political parties. And in any case, INEC is bound by the primary that it's monitored as required by law.
Okay, now that your candidate is not listed by the Independent National Electoral Commission for November 26th, don't you see this creating a succession problem for the PDP?
Let me just say it. INEC is the creator of the problem we are having. And I also see active connivance of some forces of the government in power. Because we have seen impunity right away. We have seen a situation whereby people intentionally want to create problem where there ought not to be problem. In Edo State, the leadership of the PDP had been cleared based on Justice Liman's judgments of Port Harcourt, which validated the convention of the PDP that was not outlawed. That convention defined the leadership, and based on the judgment well delivered by that judge, which has not been upturned by a higher court. It's only a higher court that can upturn it, not another court of coordinate jurisdiction. Now, that INEC in Edo State came out whole to accept the nomination of the candidate of the leadership of McAfee in that respect.
Okay.
Why would INEC, just in less than 2 months, between Edo election and Ondo election, INEC, having monitored the primary that produced Itai Ojegede, reversed itself by going ahead to heed a controversial order. I call it controversial. Okay. Let me tell you. I call it controversial.
We're pressed for time, Mr. Okunomo. Just a moment. Let me go back to you, Mr. Labi. Obviously, there is this unity in your party. Mr. Okunomo is a member of your party, and there is a big bridge between, or there seems to be a fracture on both sides of the divide. Is the PDP preparing to lose come November the 26th if it's not fighting a common enemy?
Well, thank you very much. Before I answer your question, let me correct an impression. Because Mr. Banji Okunomo is just coming up from Labour Party. So he's not well versed with the provision of our constitution at all. Then I want to put it to him that is he claiming ignorance of the judgment of Justice Adeniyi Ademola that actually recognized Dr. Oluogunye as the authentic executive committee of Ondo State before the Congress that produced B.E. Poroye. So if he's claiming that there was no faction, then he's not saying the truth. That is the bitter truth there. Now, coming to the point you have just raised, we are one. In fact, initially what we were telling them is that, look, there is no way we can conclude this controversy until you get to the Supreme Court. So we have been pleading that in the interim, let us shed our sword. Let everybody work for the progress and success of the party. Let us win this election. Let the case continue.
All right.
And whoever wins eventually at the Supreme Court takes his slot at the end of the day.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer Alabi, for joining us on the program, and Mr. Banji Okunomo for sharing your thoughts with us on this matter. We'll take another moment. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. What way forward for the PDP in Ondo State? Please stay with us.